Number 5. Have you ever wondered what happens when two of the most unique talents on the planet collide on the basketball court? On one side, you've got Kevin Durant, the smooth-scoring, veteran future Hall of Famer. On the other, Victor Wembanyama, a 7'5" rookie with freakish length and a developing offensive arsenal. Tonight, we break down their first epic showdown, a game that gave us jaw-dropping blocks, thunderous dunks, and a final sequence worthy of instant classic status. By the end of this video, you'll relive every pivotal moment, understand the chess match between idol and protege, and discover why this matchup is just the beginning of a rivalry that could define the next decade of the NBA. Let's get into it. Chapter 1. Setting the stage. A year before this game, KD was already buzzing about the incoming French phenom. In an interview, he said, "He's really in trouble when he comes in. I want to see how it plays out." That respect, but also that competitive edge, set the tone for their first head-to-head. Meanwhile, Wembanyama, asked about Durant, his childhood idol, offered a humbling take. "He's one of my top favorite players ever, but on the court, he's my opponent. I can't entertain being friends when we have to fight." Tonight wasn't just another regular season game. With Devin Booker and Bradley Beal sidelined, it was a pure one-on-one showcase. No superstars tipping the scales, just longevity and finesse versus youth and length. And from the opening tip, Chapter 2, Early Exchanges, Defense Meets Offense. After 60. The game tipped off, and immediately we saw the two unicorns flexing their defensive instincts. First, Wembanyama sets a flare screen at the elbow, then sneaks to the wing. Durant, reading the scouting report, jumps the passing lane and swats Wemby's shot fake into a turnover. Just 1 minute later, Durant returns the favor. He springs a pick and pop, dribbles once into a classic pull-up fadeaway. You know the one. And Wembanyama, despite his length, can't corral it. Durant knocks it down. Veteran moves against raw potential. These first exchanges told us everything. Durant's IQ and scoring prowess versus Wembanyama's length and defensive wingspan. Neither gift comes easy when facing the other, but both stars showed why they belong at the top. Chapter 3. Highlight plays, dunks and blocks galore. If you thought the early tussles were cool, wait till you see what happened next. KD's out-of-bounds set. He uses a slick, wiper action to fake Wemby, then explodes to the rim for a thunderous dunk. But Wembanyama wasn't about to be outshined. Seconds later, he brings the ball up the right wing, sees Durant closing out hard, takes one dribble, and throws down a silky left-hand slam. Reminder, this kid is just 19 years old. And on defense, Wemby, he racks up block after block. On one possession, guarding Eric Gordon, he digs his foot in, stays down on the shot fake, then rockets up to reject the three-point attempt. It's like watching a human sentry perched under the rim. Durant had his defensive moments too. He chased Wemby into the corner, then came over to help on a drive, forcing a miss and showing that, even at 36, his defensive instincts are razor sharp. Freeze frame on one of Wemby's blocks. These highlight plays weren't just for show. They swung momentum, energized the crowd, and signaled that this duel would be remembered for years. Chapter 4. Impact on teammates. KD passing to Kellen Martin, Wemby's flare screens leading to open shots. Great stars. Elevate everyone around them, and both Durant and Wembanyama did just that, albeit in different ways. Durant's presence drew double teams, creating kick-out opportunities. Case in point. Kellen Johnson gambles for a steal, leaves his man, and Durant immediately lobs it to a wide-open corner for a three. Wembanyama, meanwhile, showcased the subtleties of team play. He ran a flare screen on Eric Gordon, then slipped it to free up a shooter for a catch-and-shoot triple. On the next possession, he set what looked like a standard ball screen, but slipped the moment the defense bid, occupying two defenders and springing another teammate for an easy bucket. Clip of slip screen. These little actions, the screens, the pass fakes, the slips, often go unnoticed on the stat sheet, but are the building blocks of championship-caliber offenses. Chapter 5. Defensive masterclass and coaching adjustments. Offensively, Wembanyama struggled at times, missing some first-half looks and watching his Spurs fall down by 20. Coach Popovich, never one to mince words, called him over and delivered some veteran wisdom, but on the defensive end, unmatched. He guarded Durant on the perimeter, rotated to help on Eric Gordon, and then soared to reject another three. It felt like every time the Suns thought about a drive, Wemby was waiting with arms raised. Durant chipped in on defense too, cycling through closeouts and showing why he's still one of the more reliable two-way wings in the league. But tonight, the young phenom's length and athleticism made him the defensive star of the show. Pop's halftime talk clearly resonated. The second half saw Wembanyama come out more composed on offense, but his defensive effort never wavered. Chapter 6, Fourth Quarter Drama. The Suns led comfortably at the start of the fourth, but veterans know that's when rookies can wilt under pressure. Not tonight. Wembanyama struck first, draining a three on a catch-and-shoot to cut the deficit. Then another three. Twice in the backcourt, Popovich drew him up flare screen sets, and Wemby knocked them down with ice in his veins. Durant answered with his signature isolation pull-up mid-range, smooth as silk, but Wembanyama's thunderous third-quarter plays carried the Spurs' momentum into the final period. With under a minute left, the Spurs down by 3, Pop called for a screen for Wemby. Instructed to catch, shoot, and bury, he pulled up from the mid-range and drained it. Suddenly, it was a one-point game. On the Suns' next possession, they inbound to Durant, only for Kellen Johnson to strip him at mid-court, race in for the finish, and give the Spurs their first lead. The arena erupted. But it wasn't over. Durant got the ball back, surrounded by double teams under the basket, and ballooned the final shot. Wembanyama and Johnson secured the rebound, sealing an improbable road victory, and a passing of the torch moment in which the rookie truly joined the conversation with a seasoned superstar. Chapter 7. What this means for the future. KD and Wemby fist-bumping post-game. So what did we learn from this epic duel? First, Kevin Durant remains an elite offensive force, unstoppable mid-range, high basketball IQ, and the clutch gene. He's shown he can adapt, defend, and still be a leading man, even as the league evolves. But Victor Wembanyama, he's not just the future, he's the now. His length, defensive instincts, and rapidly improving offensive moves make him a generational talent. That he could hang, play bully ball inside, stroke threes, and guard the league's best wings is a sign that he could redefine what it means to be a big man in the NBA. More importantly, this rivalry has endless storylines. Veteran versus rookie, old school scoring against new school versatility. And if this first meeting was any indication, their next face-offs will only get bigger. A playoff rematch, all-star weekend duel, the stakes keep rising. Fast-cut highlights recap, epic music swell. Tonight's game wasn't just an exhibition of skill, it was a changing of the guard, a moment when fire met raw promise, and both delivered. Kevin Durant reminded us why he's a future Hall of Famer. Victor Wembanyama showed why he's the most anticipated rookie since LeBron. If you loved reliving these moments, smash that like button, subscribe for more in-depth breakdowns, and ring the bell so you never miss our next video. Drop a comment below. Who wins their next showdown, KD or Wemby? Thanks for watching, and remember, basketball isn't just a game, it's a story, and this epic rivalry is one chapter you don't want to miss.